Daniel did a news reporter pan to second.
Welcome to Weeb the People, a podcast dedicated to all things anime, from the perspectives of an advanced viewer, casual, and beginner. I'm your host, Daniel.
Rudy Giuliani is pretty much a swamp monster at this point. My name is Malcolm.
Yep.
And my name is Jake. I am completely lost. Daniel did a news reporter pan to second camera. He's really loving these two monitors, and
It's awesome.
back to you with the weather.
Local news story.
Stay classy, Sam.
Someone died.
For people just listening into the audio, Daniel's got two monitors now, and he's panning back and forth, and really did like a news anchor. A tragic fire today.
In other news, I ate ice cream again.
Yeah, no, guys. I've been super loving this dual monitor setup. It's like changed my life completely. I could never go back to the single monitor life. So, yes.
Malcolm, I also heard about Rudy Giuliani. Someone joked that he went to John Hopkins Total Landscaping. He was committed.
No.
Oh, man.
Oh, that man deserves
Setting up
the worst
conferences.
of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, in today's episode, we will be reviewing and discussing ID Invaded. If you have not watched the show, then spoilers ahead. If ID Invaded is not to your liking, then our next broad discussion will be next week, with our next watch in 2 weeks. So if you guys have any suggestions on what y'all want to see, please feel free to DM us on any of the social medias or email us. So with that, let's get into the background. ID Invaded is an anime original directed by A. Aoki, written by Otaru Magio. Okay, that was a little hard. And animated by Studio Naz. After Detective Akihito Narihisago, aka Sakaido, lands in prison for seeking revenge on his daughter's killer, he begins assisting the police on cases using a method that infiltrates people's identities, aka their minds. Yeah. So, for this one, in case you all don't know, like, I'm a huge detective, like, crime scene. I love all that stuff. So, getting to watch a show like this, and one of these, in shows like these, I always try to figure out the cases before they're solved. That's just the way I like to work it. I'm like, okay, how would they do this? How would they do that? How does a criminal think? Why would they do that? Like, I like to figure out their MO and like do all that. So getting to watch the show was really fun in terms of that.
You like to sit on chairs and eat chips? Is that what Elle would do?
with the is it his phone that he's watching?
He like
it?
hunches
he's
over
doing
and
his
he's like,
homework, and then
Yeah.
and then that's awesome. But yes, no, I'm super into crime scenes, so this show definitely got to scratch that itch. And this something that the show is really cool for, besides being an anime original, is I think half the episodes have their own like insert song in them. So it's their own episode original song with some of the episodes. Not every single one of the episodes, but for I'd say like roughly anywhere from 4 to 6 episodes.
They hit it pretty hard in the beginning.
It was really cool. I'm really a fan of, like, what is it, episode 4? I think it's called Samurai, and then episode 12 is Butterfly. Those are really good. I really enjoyed those songs. So the original soundtrack for this show was really well done. Let's see, the characters themselves, I think they're cool. At some points, I think there's too many characters, because some of them are just chilling. I mean, you know what they do, but you don't really know who they are.
You mean every single person at HQ except for the lead director guy?
Exactly.
Yeah. They all have a job, but we don't know their backstories at all. No. Like, we all know, oh, they're an analyst. They do smart people things.
My hair is yellow, and I look at the screen.
But what I want to know is, what are their side hobbies? Do they whittle on their off days?
Board games like us. I don't know.
Yeah.
They can clearly outrun gigantic boulders 20 times their size.
Instead of just running to the left or right, they just run straight.
Easy.
But yeah, no, so for the main characters, aka Sakaido, Hondo Machi, whatever the blue-haired dude's name is, I think they...
Fukuda, I think.
Fukaido or something? I think it's almost all Aido, right? That's like what they all...
Nope, it's Fukuda.
Really?
Fukuda. Mm-hmm.
No, okay,
yeah,
no,
trust me, I got
but,
the fandom page open.
No, but so do I. But...
the detective name.
His detective name, yes.
Okay.
I don't know. But I think they do the show does a really good job of expanding those characters and like their backgrounds and stuff and what they're thinking. Mainly the 3 detectives, I think they do a good job about that. Because like I said, with everybody else, it's kind of just, oh, hey, they're there, they're chilling, they do their thing, but that's it. They're really not important. So
yeah, I would have expected either less screen time for them and just not talk a lot. Sorry.
Was that on your end, Jake?
What?
Whose police is coming through right now?
Oh yeah, sorry, that was the siren. I live off of a major roadway in Austin, so I hear every doucher revving his car, every ambulance, every police car, and then it's crazy. You can hear casual conversations of people walking down the street on the other side of the road, and they sound like they're in your backyard when you're sleeping. So that's cool.
That's buck wild.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's a little spooky. But I was gonna say is I would have wanted either less screen time of those people, like just make them side characters that don't have a lot of importance, or actually develop them. But it's kind of that halfway point that I thought it's just like wasting screen time, and there is good development of other characters that they could have done more in.
Right. What else? So kind of leading from that is the point of like mini plots, in my opinion. I think the show has like the central plot, obviously, of like then the detectives, and then they go into people's minds, whatever, and they try to solve this overarching like mystery of who's this like killer creator dude, right? So like that's like the main plot.
John Walker,
a Texas Ranger,
blue jeans in the state.
But there was like some points that I wish they expanded upon or like talked about, like what's the whole point of them having a different persona in the like detective world? Like I don't think they ever explained that. I think it was just what's up?
Get it though? Because like if you use your real name and like you're inside someone's mind and they like somehow see you in their mind, they're gonna come find you in real life.
But wasn't the idea that they pick up on the persona of the person, like the aura, but the person doesn't know that they're inside their subconscious?
Yeah, they said that they never know that they're inside their own conscious. Like because I think it was with Sakaido when his actual name Akihito, right? When he's back in his cell, and then the other guy, the blue-haired guy, Fukula, is like, "Hey, how does it feel for them to be rummaging around their minds?" And he's like, "Bro, I don't know. Like it doesn't feel. I don't feel anything." So
they wouldn't know.
Fair.
But I think the other idea was that they gave them these different identities, so that they didn't have like a dissociation of who they are. Because like if you think about it, like if I went inside someone else's subconscious and I was still myself, I would be questioning whether or not it's me in the real world or not.
Oh, that makes sense.
I think it's a protection thing, kind of like Inception where they had the totems.
Yeah.
I think that's why they give you an alter ego, so that you know when you're dreaming or when you're in the subconscious and when you're not.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, and wasn't that a big plot point? Like when the second you find out who you are in real life, like you get into your own ID well, and then it turns into a giant tornado.
Yeah,
we're not in Kansas anymore.
Mm-hmm. You start to get real existential. What am I?
What?
Whoa, is this real life or?
And it makes sense because Sakaido, like in that whole like kind of one of the last arcs, the second to last arc, when he goes into whose mind does he go into? It's well
in the desert
well.
scene, right? Where they go, they go layers in there.
And then that dude was in there.
The kick to get back out.
That dude was in there for like 3 years inside the. Well, according to him. Right?
Him, yeah.
Yeah.
He lived like a whole life. He could have bought a whole car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paid that off.
So okay, that helps clear that up.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do I have?
I don't think that's confirmed, but I think that was kind of like a theory. That was at least my theory.
Again,
like
he bought a car.
A game theory. But I'll say I think another part of the show that I appreciated was there was some like problem solving and puzzle work that they went through. I don't know if all the logical leaps made sense to me. There was a lot of things that I was like, how did you know that? Like the sniper tower and the rotating
that
thing.
Was absolute bullshit.
I was like, how do you know the rate of rotation to guess where this person is? Because he was like, oh, well, like you did, like the first person got shot on that side. I'm like, how do you know you made a full rotation? You can't see anything. But
I set like his reference point, started measuring in radians. It was like, okay, so this many revolutions, and then you do, okay.
Shoot, I don't know if I could make a conversion in radians right now.
But I guess for that one, it made
at least to me. TI-83 could.
At least it made sense to me because it was like, okay, so here's like the cylinder, right, that they're on the tower, and then this dude originally died here. So then, but then when he went to the other side, like obviously logically thinking, if it was just staying there, you'd go to the other side, he wouldn't be there, right? But then didn't he
Right.
run directly around? And like some people were still stationary, some people didn't move at all. Remember, some people were
And
like
they
just
got
like
shot.
cowering. So
Right.
that's how his reference point. So he goes around, he's like, oh shit, I'm on the other side, but I still see that guy who fell over. So what the hell?
Yeah.
At least that's how I saw it.
Yeah, I get how they may have solved it. I just don't know like how he got it so right.
Like just like
Like,
that. Yeah.
just like that. I mean, it was definitely a puzzle, and I thought it was a cool, interesting puzzle, but it was something like how someone could solve it so precisely, because don't they get out by like knowing where this guy is exactly?
Yeah, they pretty much pull a ripcord saying like, I figured it out, just get me out. Just pull
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. So okay,
But-
that's fair. What do I still got? The ending. So the second to last arc, well, I think was really good when he was stuck within the well within a well. I think that was
Yeah.
really well done. But the final John Walker arc, I feel like was really rushed.
Yeah.
I think it was just
Felt like a very bad Spider-Man movie ending.
I felt that it was just, hey, we got to kill this guy
There's
because
two
he's the
Green
bad
Goblins?
guy. So
No, I agree. I'm totally with you there, Daniel. Like the character as the villain has been there from the beginning, but the big twist was like it's the director. Like it
I
It
think
was
a
just-
7-year-old could have figured that out.
right? But
Yeah.
also like obviously it's going to be a good person that they were like they didn't ever suspected. Like if they drag that out, like it can't just be a random person. Like
Kyle,
Greg from
that's Greg from the IT department.
of
Kyle
course.
bought a monster 3 days ago, but then that person also died 3 days ago, and this receipt is with the invoice. It's Kyle.
It's got to
Pull
be
me out.
Kyle. But yeah, it was like a twist that I just didn't understand their motivations, and I don't know. It was fast, but I think the concept of the show was really cool. I mean, it's not an original thought, but it's a cool idea and execution. Like it's a permutation of Inception and like Total Recall, maybe a little bit, or like what is it where they go? Well, you go into like other
Matrix,
people's
you know.
memories. Matrix. Maybe a little bit of the Harry Potter pensive, viewing other people's dreams and memories. So it's it was a really cool idea, and I liked some of the execution. But yeah, that final arc was
I think what it was
Forgettable.
for me was like, okay, wow, it was like the big CEO that nobody ever suspected, right? But there was no emotional, like, I didn't feel anything from them reviewing that, because I think we didn't see the director that much. He popped in every once in a while, but it wasn't like, oh, he was an integral character to the entire plot, or we saw him all the time, and he's like, oh, he's a cool guy, and when it happens, then it's going to be heart-wrenching. No, it's just, oh, okay, it was him.
Yeah, I think the director was more of a plot point to get us to Kiki and feel something about Kiki and how she was like this misabused person, and how the director was like, I'm going to salvage your body and use your powers for evil. And oops, I messed up and I regret everything. And now I have to kill myself and be stuck in the well forever to be the greatest detective.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tom Cruise. Welcome to Scientology. That's essentially what he did.
So then, kind of exactly going into that, why does she have powers? Like, how come she's like
Have you not
the
seen
only-
Akira? We all watched Akira. This was an Akira ripoff.
So it was just weird. It's like all of a sudden they just threw this girl with powers into the whole plot. Okay, cool, but I don't think we've ever gotten any prerequisite information from that. Like maybe alluding to the fact that, oh, this girl has powers, and you could say that, oh, the whole like nurses thing that happened, whatever, the 12 nurses or whatever. But I guess my point is like, okay, how come they just threw in this random character with random ass powers, and then, oh, so she's the only one in the world with the entire powers. No, they're not going to mention anything more of it. Like, oh, what if there's even more people? I don't know. I think that was just kind of left field for me. So, I don't know.
I mean, they kind of hinted at it at the beginning where they're like, we have this giant machine called the ID well. We don't know how it works or why it works, but some dude invented it, and then he mysteriously died in someone's backyard, and he tried to get framed. And
yeah, it seems like a tech that they should probably know a little bit more about before they use.
yeah. Like, if
This is
someone
like,
just
this
gave
is
me a
like us
time
playing
machine.
with nukes in the 1940s. Like, probably just should have left it be, but we were
Yeah.
like, no, it seems we got it under control, and then
Hey, everyone gets one mulligan, right?
or two.
or a lot of
or a lot.
or a lot. We actually, yeah, we did a lot of testing, and so did the
Yeah.
Russians.
Yes.
Yeah, that's shame on us.
Mulligan's Island.
Nevada's island.
Rest in peace, Nevada.
I've seen The Hills Have Eyes. I know how this ends.
So the only other point that I really wanted to bring up, at least from my viewpoint, is I think the animation was really well done. So the animation was solid, especially the only CGI that I saw that I didn't like too much was the vehicles. It was only with the vehicles. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but like all CGI was just vehicles whenever they were driving and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, CGI car or whatever. So to me, that wasn't too breaking point animation wise. I think it was fine. I think everything else though was really well done. So I think the supplementary stuff to the plot was really well done, aka the soundtrack and the animation. I think those were really well done. The plot was good. I think it could have been better, but yes, that's all I got.
Cool.
You guys have any more points y'all want to bring up?
No, I think I'm ready to give my rating.
Cool. What's up?
I did have one thing. I think my favorite character dynamic in this show was the girl who had the boyfriend that would do anything for her. She was like, I want to feel the thrill of killing people, but I don't ever want to get blamed for it. So I'm going to use my boyfriend who loves me very much to kill people in front of me. And I was like, yo, that's psychotic. And then you throw in the layer on top of that, where it was like Hanamachi's getting this urge to kill just like for the pleasure of it. Like she missed all 30 bullets when the guy was right in front of her just to go like, I got you, buddy. And I was like, you are psychotic and you need to go into jail, please, right now.
I mean, that's what happens when you have a random hole through your head.
That's true. When did the show come out? Because who knows how many people have holes.
Really
it was this year.
Was it 20? No, it wasn't this year. Was it 2019?
I guarantee it's 2020. Check Hulu. Guaranteed.
All right, let's see.
And while Daniel's Googling that, I just want to point out that all of the murderer names were very, very Walmart great value brand versions of like Marvel characters. Hi, I'm the arm twister. No, I'm the thigh gapper. I'm like,
the series premiered from January 5th to March 22nd.
It's like discount fitness equipment.
So yes, Malcolm was correct, ladies and gentlemen, and I will gladly accept the fact that I was incorrect. And that's a very important life lesson for everybody out there. It's okay to be wrong.
You want to shred your quads? Try the thigh gapper. Sorry. Go ahead.
These villains were so bad.
They really
hated
were.
all their names.
But it's okay to be wrong. So yeah, is that it before we move on to our final?
Hey, yeah, just don't actually kill people. No method acting, Daniel. You can get into their heads while watching videos. Don't actually kill anyone.
Don't actually do that. That's weird. That's messed up. So yeah, rewatch, recommend to another person, final score. Would I rewatch it? No, I don't think so. I think it was a good one-off. I think crime thrillers and like mysteries and solving that, it's really hard to, unless if you like get into that. There's one show that I really do want to rewatch that is a mystery, and we brought it up in our Senpai Suggests, so go check that one out. But for this one, rewatch
Inspector Gadget,
the anime. Rewatch
there
Negative.
Actually is one I watched a lot.
And then recommend to another person. Yeah, I'd recommend this to another person if they like the crime stuff and whatever. Final score. I originally wrote an 8 out of 10, but after talking with Jake and Malcolm, I think I'm going to lower that a little bit. 7.5. The plot was good. Like I said before, I think there was too many mini plots, and they didn't really expand on the stuff that I really wanted them to. But like I said before, the supplementary stuff was good. The animation, the soundtrack was solid. So 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Okay. Are we doing the would you watch it again kind of thing?
Yeah.
Rewatch, recommend, final score.
Yeah. Okay. So you're okay. So what I would say is no, I didn't see if you were saying you were gonna watch it again. I didn't hear that, so I missed that.
It's okay.
Sorry, Bob. So I would say I probably won't watch it again. If they have a new season with like completely new characters or like a brand new storyline, but the same principle of just going into people's subconscious, I'll watch that. But I don't think this is worth watching over. I think for like murder mystery, I might recommend it to somebody. I feel like it's a very like specific genre. Like if you like true crime, I don't think you necessarily like this, but it is interesting and it's got some cool like nuances and it got dark at points, which I thought was kind of cool. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think that there was some redeeming qualities of the show. I didn't like the final arc like Daniel. I think that the story kind of got rushed, but the idea of it is really cool, and I like the kind of this synchronization between this id world and the outer world, and like kind of doing like the Matrix thing where like, oh, we found the location, we're gonna go this way, and like we found the person. I think that was kind of a cool way to solve crimes. So 7 out of 10. Maybe a new season, new characters, new story would be interesting.
Nice. Marconius, Hamiltonius.
Me, would I rewatch the show? No. I feel like this is adult Scooby-Doo, and like you watch it once, and then you give it about 10 years, and then nostalgia hits, and then you watch it again. But yeah, it'll be a while for me to rewatch it. I'll definitely watch a season 2 if that comes out, but not a rewatch. Would I recommend it to another person? I'd say yeah. Yeah, just to pass the time and just like get your mind stimulated. But basing things off of that, I would give this show an 8 out of 10. That was my original score. And I'm still sticking to it because there were some solutions that were like near impossible for you to figure out on your own. So this didn't really feel like a true murder mystery. It was more of like a plot driven, like, hey, we need to get to this next thing. So I'm going to tell you now, this is how I solved it. And that's kind of like it's an okay way to move the story forward. It's just not my taste. So that's why I give it an 8 out of 10, not anywhere close to a 9 out of 10. But the concepts of the show were pretty spot on. Great execution, good twists. And it really ramped up at the end. I was kind of getting bored after a while, but once you hit episode 9, I was like, let's end this bad boy. So it was good.
Nice.
8 out of 10.
Well, there you have it, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed our shorter format. I think personally the three of us did. So I think it's more concise and more information-based rather than just rambling on and stuff. So yeah, let us know what you think about the different formats. If you guys would rather prefer us go back to the other one, we totally can. But if you guys prefer this one, we'll stick to it. So with that, we would like to thank Joachim Karud for the use of his music in our podcast. The intro is Dreams and the outro is Lowrider. Links to his info will be in our contact. Link to his contact info will be in our show notes. If you enjoy listening to us, please make sure to rate us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts. See, I can never get this on memory because there's too damn much to do.
There's a lot.
If video format is more of your thing, then make sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Weeb the People Podcast. Check out our website, weebthepeople.com. Make sure to follow our Twitter handle at weeb_the_people. Facebook page, Weeb the People, and Anime Podcast. And finally, our Instagram, Weeb the People Podcast. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to DM us on any of those social medias or email us at weebthepeoplepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm your host that has 2 new monitors, a solid state drive, and RAM coming in tomorrow. Daniel.
If you're gonna fart, at least acknowledge it, Rudy, you nasty, dirty boy. My name's Malcolm.
I got 2 thumbs and 2 good friends. My name's Jake.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I was so concerned you were gonna go so bad. I got 2 thumbs and 1 urethra.
I got 2 thumbs and a shield. This has been Weeb the People, and have a great Weeb need.